Now in this segment, I'm going to show you both a treatment, HVLA style treatment for an inhalation and exhalation for the floating ribs. And the hand position here is similar to our muscle energy positions, and a lot of times we'll just move from the muscle energy technique right into the HVLA technique if we didn't think we were successful with the muscle energy. Now again, we need to remember that with these floating ribs, if these two fingers are the floating ribs, in an inhalation freedom, inhalation dysfunction, they prefer to move posterior and caudal towards the sacrum and pelvis, whereas the rest of the ribs above that are moving out but cephalad. So you'll see that rib 10 and 11 move in opposite directions. So if we start off with a rib that's an inhalation dysfunction, either 11 or 12, they're going to be posterior and caudal. And the direction of our thrust has to be into the patient and up to their shoulder pretty much. So with this, I tend to like to get my hypothenar eminence angled right over the rib and kind of contour it that way. With my bottom hand, I just put the forearm on the upper outer buttocks and pull back to elevate the ASIS off the table, and then I can hook my hand right in on the ASIS. And then what I can do is bring the patient back just so I feel like it affects the rib. Don't want to pull too far back because now the quadratus is going to pull it even further inferior. And I ask the patient to take a deep breath and exhale, and as he exhales, I take my left hand and thrust up and out into the patient and laterally, like so. If this was an exhalation dysfunction, the patient's rib is into the body and up. So now I need to bring it down. And this is a little harder. So with this one, we don't want to push into the patient so much because it already is a little more ventral. So I have to find that rib and stay more in a more pure caudal direction. So this time I actually can use this pelvis again to help pull the rib down and out a little bit. I can even side bend the patient's legs to the other side to help put some bowing in here to help me. And then the patient takes a deep breath, and I help force it towards inhalation. And these exhales, I give it a thrust down towards the butt or towards the pelvis. And much more parallel, because I don't want to drive it in too much, because it actually needs to be able to come out posteriorly with that inhalation movement. So that's your HVLA for floating ribs, 11 and 12, inhalation, and then exhalation dysfunctions.